Break that down for us a little bit. Let us, give us kind of info on what you're doing there and kind of show us what you got happening.
Okay, well, one of the reasons I chose that song is because it really derives from a work song, like a hammer song, right? And one of Johnson's major influences, a guy named Son House, had actually recorded a song called My Black Mama, which sort of uses that same central lick. And the heart of that song is this idea. Which is grabbing the 6th string at the 3rd fret, playing the 5th string open, the 3rd string, which is a G or now an A, letting that string next to that one ring, and then coming up to the 1st string at the 5th fret. Right? So that's the middle of it. But what sort of defines, I think, a good slide player is not just a slide. It's the rhythm that the slide happens over. So you'll notice Robert plays a really kind of simple riff, and it could either be done like using the slide like that, sliding basically from the 2nd fret to the 3rd fret, and then playing that open. But then there's this idea of damping it, right? So you don't want, you want that chopping. So your right hand is involved with damping. And your left hand also is deadening the strings. So you get this sort of chopping rhythm, which is why it's a work song. Go, baby, let me take go free, but baby, I want to tell you, baby, I can't see. And that whole tradition was guys like working and hammering or chopping. And the pace of that downfall was where you let the hammer fall or let the axe fall or whatever. So Son House took that and turned it into My Black Mama, but Robert Johnson sort of made it even more sophisticated with that ideal walking blues. So, woke up this morning feeling round for my shoes. By that, you know I had them mean old walking blues. And at a certain point, even in the lesson, I noticed if you don't really attentively damp those strings, you get that sympathetic ringing, right? So you want that chop, right? And then the thing that all of the action really of the chord changes, you don't play the chord changes as much as you play the note that the chord represents. So on the 5th string, instead of playing that with the key of A, instead of playing that D, you'd slide down the 5th string to the 5th fret, and that becomes the chord you sing over. So it's like, woke up this morning, feeling round for my shoes, back into the central lick. By that, you know I had them mean old walking blues. And there's no turnaround, and you just simply keep that going until you get to the end of the song. But one of the things that's really cool about that lick and about all of the stuff we'll be talking about this week is it's adaptable to other songs. You hear it when Muddy Waters sings, and he may not go simply like, you might hear. You know, or Howlin' Wolf's Little Red Rooster is. And so they're all sort of built on the same template or the same chassis. So for me, that's really important because I'll tell you right from the start, I'm not one of those guys who's like interested in trying to play like anybody note for note. You know, you listen to Robert Johnson and sometimes he'll play it one way, he'll play it another way, depending on the mood, the feeling, the timing. So what you want, what I like to do is get these little modules in my toolkit. And then I know that if I want to play the whole chord, I can do that. Or if I just want that, I can play that. Or I can make this as elaborate or as simple as I want.
Perfect. That's good stuff. Good stuff. So, and go tell us once again, what tuning are we in here?
So we're in open A tuning.
Open A?
Open A, which
Gotcha.
is kind of insane because if you listen to Robert Johnson, you try to play along with the record and you're like, what, you know, and he's singing like, yeah, you know, like a strangled cat. And you're wondering, you know, what is going on? Well, Johnson, especially when he was playing those little 12-fret guitars, would probably crank that tuning all the way up to A and then slap a capo on the first or the second fret to take it to B flat or B. I figure if you're playing your delicate 100-year-old Martin or your 90-year-old Gibson, you probably don't want to, you know, crank it all the way up to A. So what I generally do is take it to open G and then put a capo on the second fret. So it's really, you know, it's E, A, E, A, C sharp, and A. And so that's what, you know, that's what we'll operate. And so I advise everybody to you know, tune into open G if you don't feel comfortable going out to open A, and then just use the capo.
Gotcha. Got it. Yes, absolutely. And a couple of folks were asking that. Yeah, it's open G, but there's the capo on the second fret. So that basically means we're playing an open A. But if you tune your guitar without the capo, tune it to open G. So got it. Good stuff.